Hey my loves, welcome back for another video. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Ashley and today we're playing in a highlighted lace wig. Now off the bat, this is the texture and the color of the wig. You guys can see here the knots are not bleached, so I went in with my BW Bleach and 40 developer, made a little concoction, and I proceeded to bleach the knots. Now this concoction, you have to make sure the consistency is right. There is no exact measurements, but what I will say is that you have to make sure it's thick enough so that it will not be runny. You kind of see how it's kind of like going on as like a paste. The key is if it's runny, it's going to go through the lace onto the other side of the lace, which is the roots, and you don't want this mixture on your root, because if it dyes the roots, you will have blonde roots and darker hair, which makes absolutely no sense. So all I'm doing is applying it nicely. Make sure that you wear your gloves. I left it on for about 20 minutes. I rinsed it out really good, and then I washed once with the purple shampoo. I was fearful that the purple shampoo would change the color of the actual hair. Quick rule of thumb, I'm showing you the opposite side, because if you look on the opposite side, or the normal regular side of the wig, if you can see that bleach mixture like poking or protruding through the lace, then you know that it is going to over bleach and go on the other side. So kind of check the other side if you can, and just make sure that there is no bleach that is like poked through or that pushed through the lace. And if you do, you will have to probably like wash it out and restart over just to be safe. And yeah, I went ahead and washed with that purple shampoo. I only washed once, as I said before. Purple shampoo tends to tone the hair, so it will change the color of the hair. I wanted to give you the color of this hair in its true natural raw color. So I did that, and then I went ahead and conditioned with a regular moisturizing conditioner. Everything I use is linked in the description box as always. Now that the hair is air dried overnight, I am going in and I'm going to slay. So the knots were bleached now, and it was pre-plucked super nice, but I did decide to go in and tweeze it a little bit more. You kind of want to open the parting up and the frontal area up and just kind of make it look a little bit more natural. I find that when it's a little bit more sparse at the hairline, it looks more realistic, because nobody really has a super thick hairline. If you do, you are blessed, but the majority of us don't. So now I'm pretty pleased with the hairline. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the excess lace, and I am using an eyebrow razor as always. This sort of gives a jagged cut, and it helps it to kind of blend with your hairline a little bit better. When you use regular scissors, it kind of gives a blunt cut, so when people are standing face to face with you having a conversation, they can see that little line of demarcation of where your lace starts, like super clear. And you kind of want it to be jagged, so it kind of camouflages a little bit better. Yeah, camouflage is the perfect way to describe what this does in comparison to shears. So I went ahead and cut off all the excess lace. Now you guys see the tabs are a little bit or a lot bit longer, or they come below my natural hairline, so you kind of just shave off as much as you need to make it match. Because this hair is a non-natural color, you want to be sure that either you cut off your sideburns or that the lace covers the sideburns, because you don't want to see black sideburns underneath, or you know, connected to an otherwise blonde brown looking wig. It just wouldn't make sense, right? So I went ahead and applied with an adhesive. I really like this adhesive. I go back and forth between this one, the bedhead one, as well as of course the OG Got to Be Glued, and this one is kind of in the middle. I like it. I really do like it, and it does apply well, but sometimes I kind of feel like you have to apply twice, like sometimes it doesn't stick as well. And I've just noticed that in recent, the first time I used it, the first couple of times actually I used it, I absolutely loved it. But I kind of just feel like with my OG got to be glued, when I apply it once, I never have to like reapply. Like on this side, it just didn't apply at all, so I had to go back and redo it. And it's not really a big deal because once it sticks, but just the whole process. Just a little bit of information on that product, and that is not a glue, it's actually a holding spray. So of course I have that as the adhesive down in the description box. Now I do like the fact that they did separate and trim down baby hair for you, but of course this baby hair is way too long. I'm gonna go super short. You guys know I usually go maybe about double the length of this, but I kind of want it to be, you know, just a little bit more swoopy and not so long. I do kind of pull at the hairs when they're too thick and kind of just make it thinner really instantly, opposed to going with the tweezers. Tweezers hurt your hairline when you tweeze too much, if I do say so myself. So now we're going in and we're going to swoop the baby hair using a foam lotion, and then we're finally going to start styling the wig. But at this point the wig is pretty much installed. So now that everything is installed and looking fabulous, we're going to focus on the length of the hair. For this install, we're going to do a side part just because I know you guys are probably tired of seeing the center part. That is my go-to. If you do click the link in my description box to shop this wig, the color of it is called Highlight Mix Color. This wig actually comes in about 5 or 6 different colors, and you can even opt to customize the wig yourself. So I think that's super dope. It's 13 by 6 inches as far as the lace goes, and of course it's 150% density. The style or texture is straight, but you guys can see it had a nice curl or wave pattern to it that gives it a lot more body if you do choose to wear this in curls. Here I am just going in and making the parting look as melted as possible. I used a little bit of wax, and I paired that with my electric hot comb, and as you guys can see, it's getting super straight. Now I do kind of wish that this one had a regular dark brown root. The root is darker brown, but I wish it was like a normal natural brown, natural black type of color, because it would blend with my skin even better. But I do like the way the highlight looks, especially when I get to the end. Like, I feel like highlights don't necessarily look as natural, especially on African American women, but the way this one comes together in the end, you'll see it's gonna look super gorgeous. I also would like to try toning it. As I said before, I did wash this one with a purple shampoo, and purple shampoo tends to tone hair and kind of take anything that is orange or brassy to a more cool tone. So I would love to see if I went ahead and applied a purple shampoo to this one and let it sit in the hair like for maybe 20 minutes to an hour, even overnight if it didn't process, just seeing, you know, if it would manipulate the hair any. As far as the processing, I did find it was a little bit more shedding, but of course that's to be expected when you have blonde. But it didn't tangle at all, and I did find that it did not have any crazy smells to it, which of course works well. Here I am just using a chase method to go in and straighten out the hair. I only showed this side and I did the opposite side off camera. This is pretty much how I do with all of my wigs. Be sure to take a little bit more time in the back, because I find that a lot of the times I'll get it super straight in the front where I can see, and then when I look in a mirror in the back, I'm literally mortified because the back is still wavy. Even if I run through it with the hot comb or the flat iron, sometimes you kind of just forget a spot in the back, and that we cannot have in 2020. So this is what it looks like when it's straight. As I said before, once it's straightened out, it looks so good in my opinion. Now again, if highlights aren't your thing, this one did come in about 5 different colors, so you can opt for something that is more to your liking. If you want it to be a little bit more of an ombre instead of a highlight, they definitely have that option. Just click the link in my description box and you'll see that for yourself. Now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and remove the scarf. The scarf is meant to just make sure everything is flat and melted along the hairline, and I'm pretty pleased with the hairline, the way the hairline came out. Now this one did come from NaBeauty, as I said before, and they did give me tons of goodies. They sent this one before Christmas, so they include like this reindeer headband. They sent me a Santa hat, this little bracelet that I gave to my kids, and they're absolutely amazed and in love with, some lashes, a wig cap, and they even gave me this pearlized hairpin, which I love. Oh, and they even gave the elastic band. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out NaBeauty. All the details on this wig and everything I used is in the description box for you guys to check out, to click, to shop at your will. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Smooches!